Hey guys, Anthony here. It is Wednesday, October 9th, 2024, 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm sitting here this afternoon and I'm watching live. There's a YouTube channel named JLR Investigates, and he's streaming his, he's like a weather chaser. So he's streaming a live broadcast in Tampa of what it's like out there. So I've been watching that. I have it on the TV all morning, and I'll probably keep it on as long as he stays out there, because he's showing like real on the ground footage of like certain bridges and areas in that area that are about to get hit with Hurricane Milton. And then I'm monitoring some other channels up by I'm in, just so you guys, in case you guys don't know, I'm in South Carolina, just south of South Charlotte. So just outside of Charlotte, a town called Ballantyne, which is South Charlotte. I'm just over the border there into South Carolina. So a lot of times I say Charlotte because I'm really close to Charlotte. I'm close to Union County, North Carolina, a town called Waxhaw, very close. I could walk into Waxhaw from where I live in South Carolina. It's kind of like where, if you look at the picture of Charlotte and where South Carolina came in, it's like a little triangle that comes up. I'm down in that little triangle somewhere. Just so you guys know. Also, prior to coming here in 2017, we spent 18 years in South Florida. So that is why I have a big South Florida connection with, I have family that lives there now, but I have a lot of friends and coworkers and a whole bunch of people in South Florida, especially in the Fort Lauderdale area, Weston, Florida, in case you guys are familiar with that area. Pembroke Pines, Weston, Davie. I actually worked in Davie at Nova Southeastern University for many years. And so for all the hurricanes that we encountered in my tenure in Florida, I had to stay. I wasn't allowed to leave because we had to stay on campus for each and every storm. So one of the good things about that was we were allowed to, in many instances, take our family, if it was unsafe in our home or whatever, to campus to stay in one of the hardened facilities in physical plant, overnight during the storm. And the same thing was when I was at University of Miami back in 2001 and 2003 to 2003. UM used to let you take your family if you needed to on campus. And we used to bed down on campus in the gymnasium on blow-up mattresses, beds from the mattresses from the dorms, cots from the dorms, whatever it took to weather the storm. We would set up, button up the campus. Then several of us would bed down, monitor the storm. As soon as it was safe to get back out, we would get back out and get campus, cleaned up and trying to get it up and running again. The same thing at Nova Southeastern University. So I've done that drill many, many times for hurricanes. And so that's why I have a lot of experience dealing with hurricanes, communications, ham radio. I was on the CERT team with the Broward Sheriff's Department, the fire department, and served on that team. And so very much involved in that whole emergency preparedness stuff. And so that's why I was this morning helping some family members get acquainted with the app online, the radio app that you could listen to ham radio broadcasts and stuff like that. And then I also program their radios for, if they send them to me, I'll program them for their county or like where they live on repeaters and different things. I send them back to them, and that way they could have some, comms during the storm to at least listen via their Bofang radio that they purchased. So this video is not so much to discuss that. I wanted to discuss a movie that's on, I believe it's Amazon Prime. You may be able to get it on some other networks. but it's readily available on Amazon Prime. If you do a search, it's called Dragon Day. And the premise of the movie, it's not one of those, great masterpieces of a movie. It's kind of like a no frills movie, but it does get the point across. And in the movie, Dragon Day, as you could depict, China, in everything that they sold us over the years, like radios, anything with like a microchip in it, was somehow able to be hacked. And what they did was they hacked into all of that, and they basically shut in the movie, they shut the grid down. They shut the whole United States down. I'm talking, military assets, planes were crashing in the movie. People's phones went out, power went down, water, grid, everything. And it shows this family who's the star of the movie, the father, worked for the NSA prior, and he had worked on some of these top secret programs, and he kind of knew when it all came out, basically what was going on. He kind of knew how they could have the technology to do that. But one of the things in the movie that was kind of creepy and scary was that many Americans in the movie defected. In other words, China put out a notice on their phones that said, if you want food, water, safety, security, a way to travel and to get from point A to point B, you've got to, wear this bracelet. And it was like it was a red bracelet, like a metallic bracelet. And once it was on you, once you agreed to that and you put it on, it locked on your wrist and it could not be removed. And so now your allegiance was to the CCP. And, it gave you the ability to, yes, get food and water or whatever, but it turned people against their fellow Americans because the people that didn't want to take the bracelet or didn't want to wear the bracelet were kind of looked at as enemies. Hey, if you don't put this on by a certain time tomorrow, we're coming after you. We're going to kill you, take you prisoner. Your safety can't be guaranteed. Whatever. So it was very interesting in that part how they did that. They got allegiance, and it reminds me of today. So many in this country will be quick to give their allegiance to an enemy state for safety and security because they have not prepared. They're too lazy. They're just tired. They're broke down. They're mentally exhausted, and they just give themselves over to this new entity that comes in and guarantees them peace and safety. So that's the premise of the movie. And then they show, the local sheriff converts to the Chinese bracelet. And he's trying to get everyone in his area of operation to take this bracelet. And he kind of rules with an iron hand. And there's one scene in the movie where he catches these, there's like 5 or 6 guys going around from cabin to cabin. And they're looting. They're looking for, they're serious. They have guns. They actually kill one of the co-stars of the movie, this older guy, this World War II veteran, I think it is. And they kill him. They take his stuff. And it ends up they get caught by the sheriff. And the sheriff, he executes them one by one by shooting them in the head as part of their penalty for looting, and not going over to the bracelet side. So it's pretty interesting, the movie, on how it all pans out. But what it gets back to is this technology that is embedded prior into all the circuitry, phones, mostly cell phones, computers, things of that nature. And now we know that China makes, I mean, this is a Chinese radio. So is something in this radio that has a back door to listen or to whatever, and they could do something, via that what we just saw with Israel, what they did through radios and through circuitry with explosives. And so it just gets you thinking. The movie's very, very well done in that regard, where it gets you thinking. I like movies like that. Not the greatest acting, but it gets its point across. And so I highly urge you or would push you towards watching that, because that seems to be what China could have done or could be doing in this country with everything that's made there. Do they have back doors into, well, we know they have back doors into transformers that they've built for our grid, our power grid. A certain percentage of our power grid uses transformers sold to us via a bidding process by China. And our leaders knew ahead of time that there was some type of back door where they could go in from China or from wherever they are and shut said transformer off. So why was that allowed? This is why. Follow the money. Follow the money with everything. Pandemic, what doctors are pushing, what politicians are pushing, what people are pushing, network, influencers and what have you. Just follow the money and you'll see. Usually the money will lead you to the reason why said item or technology or transformer or computer chip or, medicine is being pushed. Just follow the money trail. And so that's my video I wanted to do on that end of it. The movie is called Dragon Day. I think it's from 2014. I'm not sure. I have a post on my Instagram. If you scroll down, you'll see a picture from the movie, a scene that I think I posted from the movie recently on my Instagram page. And you'll see, kind of get the gist of what the movie's about. But the movie, again, Dragon Day, and the CCP in that movie basically takes over the United States of America in the movie. Thanks for watching. Take care. Stay ready.